Whoa. What is this?
We're going to find it. It's
Oh, shit. Is this a model?
Yeah, this is from dude.
Wow.
This is crazy. We can't show this to anyone.
Hello Chip Dippers, welcome back to Retro Recipes. No treats for you. But I do have a real treat in store for you. Well, obviously I do a lot of videos about retro computers, retro gaming, but what if we could combine 80s computers with classic 80s movies? Yeah, I know, you've seen them all before. Well, I've found an Amiga 4000 and it is a piece of movie history. It was on the set of Apollo 13. Wow, I know, right? However, that's not where the wows end. Bow wows? Because I was going through it with its previous owner, Chris Blythe from Team 17.
Yes, it will.
And you are not going to believe what we found on the hard disk. I've been doing these videos for a little over 18 months, and this is by far the most incredible experience I've had. So stay tuned, you're not going to want to miss one moment of this. Welcome to Retro Recipes. No, trust me, this is your treat.
Oh, goodness. And guess what? The sticker is still on it, waiting to be peeled off by some young Englishman.
Maybe next Christmas.
Next Christmas, she peeled off my sticker.
Well, I guess I do have a bit of a reputation for peeling those films, but on this occasion I'll leave it on, because, speaking of films, this Amiga 4000 040 came from California film company Digital Domain. Chris Blythe here was recruited by them after he worked on the Worms games for Team 17. And they were doing a clean out when he rescued this machine from the dumpster. Whew. Side note, as you may know, once something's in the trash, it's legally considered public domain, and the owner has relinquished their rights. And so Chris became the machine's rightful custodian by saving it. And here's a look at his office, or his domain, at Digital Domain. 30 years later, he rediscovered it in his shed whilst he was preparing to move to Kenya, and having nowhere to store it, he had no choice but to place it on the curbside on trash day. But not before firing a quick email to me, and so I raced round and this very trashy machine was saved once more.
Yeah. Oops. That's fine.
So yes, here is the very same machine on the set of Apollo 13. So what was it used for, I hear you ask? Well, you didn't? Oh, well, I'm going to tell you anyway. When they set up a moving camera shot on a crane like this, in this case past some huge models, because the movies are shot on film, there's no way for the director to actually play back or see what was recorded. The film has to be developed first. And so a process called video assist was developed, initially by comedian and director Jerry Lewis, no less. Basically, a small digital camera called a video tap is attached looking into the film camera's viewfinder, and this can relay the live footage from the viewfinder to an external source. In this case, it was plugged into the Amiga's PAR card, or Personal Animation Recorder.
Holy crap-a-moly. Oh, man. There's a bad battery in there. I didn't cut that one out. The toaster card is down, and then this one here is the playback card, which gives you video playback. This is the drives for just for that. This connects to that.
So on that drive, what might we find?
On that one, I don't know. Wow.
One way to find out.
I can't. Who are you? What are you doing in my shed?
Oh, shit.
Can't remember.
This thing was made by DPS in Canada. It was pretty impressive. Connected to the Amiga's Zorro 2 card slot, it could record digital video at 576p and 60 frames per second straight to the hard disk for instant playback. And with a 4GB hard disk, for example, you could store up to 90 minutes of footage. So why not use videotape instead? Surely that would be easier and cheaper. Well, the PAR could provide perfect freeze frames for the director, in this case Ron Howard, to review, something video couldn't. But more than just that, this Amiga was integral in talking to the motion control rig via AREX scripts, so they could record identical passes of the same scene, each time adding more layers to the shot. And it turns out I have some first-hand experience with Video Assist. Some of you may know I've been really lucky to work on a few movies, including this one, Star Wars Episode 1 Phantom Menace. I played a fighter pilot called Lieutenant Gavin Sykes. If you ever played Battle for Naboo on the N64 or PC or other systems, you'll have played through that game as Gavin Sykes, albeit a rather pixelated version. But I remember on the set of this movie, I had a scene filmed where I was running up the steps to my Naboo N1 starfighter, jumping in, pulling the cockpit canopy over, pushing buttons, and it was a little embarrassing because the Naboo gown or cloak was so long, I kept getting it stuck in the canopy when I closed the canopy over. You can kind of imagine other pilots in space pointing at you going, "Your coat's stuck in your door!" Anyway, because it was on film, I would never have got to see it because they actually, they cut a ton of stuff out of that movie. Well, I was able to go down the steps and then ask the Video Assist guy, "Hey, can I see that back?" And I vividly remember him playing it back. And I remember him turning to me afterwards and saying, "Hey, pretty slick." "Well, thank you so much, sir. I didn't think so," shutting the code in my door. Well, anyway, the first thing we must do is remove that Destroyer of Worlds, the Vata battery, and try to clean up any corrosion that we can see. Here is that PAR card itself. And I'm going to resist the urge to clean and refurbish this entire machine. This stardust contains the very DNA of the film sets of major movies. And this is the card that was used to take the video output from the Video Assist camera tap, processed in here and then fed through to the PAR card. And this is an Ethernet card, rapid fire, put that on eBay. Destroyer of Worlds, or in our case, of the moon. Actually easier than I thought. You little swine. Let's blow the stardust just off this little area. I'm literally breathing in Tom Hanks right now. Wait, that sounds weird. Yeah, this is not a happy area here. There is only one thing for it. I'm just going to spray this on and clean it up. And I was also able to take a peek underneath the PCB, and there was no corrosion under there, thankfully, which means we don't have to remove the motherboard. Quite a complex job on this machine. And I also made a full image backup of all of the drives. So with that done, let's team up with Chris Blythe again here in the Retro Recipes kitchen and see if we can find Apollo 13 footage on this machine. Fingers crossed.
Oh, that was interesting. Hear that? It bailed out.
You don't have that in the transformer that's 240 volts, do you?
Yep.
Yeah, take it out of the
That was a very bad idea. Yeah, we just killed the power supply. I can smell it. Oh, man, Chris, you idiot. We had definitely killed the power supply.
Oh boy. Here's what just happened. We were sharing the power cable from another device, which was plugged into this power step-up converter. It converts US 120 volt power to European 240 volts. But this A4000 is American, so we just sent 240 volts through its 120 volt power supply, frying it.
Ah, I can't believe I did that.
Well, thanks for watching. Subscribe below and cheers for Ladyfractic. She's been taking apart computers since she was a kid, so let's see if she can fix this one with the help of a replacement power supply from Raymond Liu on Amiga. Coming up right after this. Oh, and speaking of supporters, I'm scheduling a Q&A with Chris Blythe, and you can put your questions to him by simply joining up for my Patreon. So check it out and pose your questions to Chris, but don't mention the power supply. Hey, action.
So, hey guys, season's greetings. Gotta get into the holiday cheer. There we go. And I'm gonna fix the power supply. I'm gonna try to. Oh god. Oh, it's so sticky. We're not gonna clean this one because of the history, so I'm just gonna pretend like it's not sticky or heavy. I know this should just slide off, but it just slides off. So the power supply is, oh god, it's right there where it is on all computers. Screwdriver. Screwdriver. Duct tape.
What did you want again?
Pliers. So I'm just gonna slide it down. Oh, it's a little one. ASMR. It's not particularly difficult. I just like to be very delicate with old parts.
Just like me.
Just like you. If we follow these cables, there's also one down here.
Is that on the PCB?
It is on the PCB!
Way.
And speaking of PCB Way is having their Christmas sale, and you can get up to $200 off your order of PCBs. And as we all know, PCB stands for printed circuit board.
Power circuit blue.
Power circuit blue.
Actually, it's more like silver.
Oh, that's it. Ta-da! Give it a good shit. I'm just kidding.
Ghostbusters!
Now, if my magic assistant will hand me the new one, I could have easily just reached over and grabbed it myself. Thank you. Fan is clean. Just gonna plug this back into the PCB. Yeah. Now we're just putting it all back together. First, you find the one screw that's being a pain in the butt.
Remind us what a difficult screw sounds like.
No, I don't want to. Just for the dogs at home. Ta-da! There we are, 2 new screws. Just don't blow this one up, okay? So now we're gonna test out my handiwork. Here's a plug, it is already plugged in.
Soldering on.
Oh my gosh. We hadn't plugged in yet, and I thought the computer started up by magic. Okay. Looks like it's up and running, and hopefully, Houston, we won't have any more problems.
Houston.
Houston.
Houston?
Who's Houston?
Whitney?
Houston.
You're weird.
You're weird. Happy holidays. Off to Perifractic.
Perifractic. But looking at this machine, it is really clear to see just what it's been through. You can see all this gunk. I mean, this is a real workhorse of an Amiga, and I have connected it up to a monitor. So let's see if we can boot into Workbench.
Houston, we have a problem.
I'm just getting this black screen, which on an Amiga 4000 usually means a CPU error. This is the 040 processor, the rather impressive heatsink on it. It's got these little risers here. Okay, that wasn't too tricky. Oh, so we seem to have some kind of corrosion around the port there. So much of that just went in my eyes. It really looks solidly in place. Yeah. And Chris Blythe is due back here tomorrow, so I'm on a time crunch. Fingers crossed. Well, I worked on this for a couple more hours, but my attention kept being drawn back to this battery leakage area. So you can see that far bottom left pin on U216 seems to be corroded to the adjacent pin. Now this is shaping up to be a long video, so I won't show you all this in detail, but I worked on cleaning up this area for another few hours, including using lemon juice to neutralize the alkaline from the battery, then cleaning it with alcohol and thoroughly drying it. Well, I do not see anything untoward. That sound you hear is the soldering iron heating up, because I just want to try and reflow the solder. So these are surface mounted, and that isn't really my specialty. I'm kind of old school. I like the through hole stuff, but we can at least try to touch the soldering iron to them, see if we can reflow the solder a little bit. Okay, well, I'm now on day 2 of trying to get this thing working, and it may be one of those motherboards that is beyond salvage. The corrosion is just in so many of these surface mounted points, and something in this circuit and these hundreds of traces is, I think, causing this otherwise perfect looking CPU not to be accessed. I may come back to this repair at another time, but my hunch is that 30 years of leaking battery have rendered this unsalvageable. However, this is still history here, and that data, well, that hasn't been corroded. So if we could simply swap the PAR card and this PAR hard disk into another A4000, we could still salvage the data. So let's team up with Chris Blythe again and see what happens.
Alright, so this is looking at our groins. We took everything, the hard drives and the DPS capture and playback card, and put them in this, my Amiga, my old Amiga, which is now your Amiga, and it works.
You can't have everything. We've done very well to get anything out of these machines. Look at the mess. It's like an Amiga explosion. So finally, we can try to find that Apollo 13 footage.
Let's see. Image effects. It's going to make a preview file there. A preview. Let's go like that, and then view. This is amazing.
Exciting.
Oh! Aren't we filming this part?
Yeah.
Oh. Oh.
Whoa.
Oh, okay. This looks good.
Cancel.
Property of Lightstorm Entertainment. Okay.
Whoa. What is this?
We're gonna find it. It's f***ing Titanic!
Oh, shit. Is this a model?
Yeah. This is from Titanic, dude.
Wow.
This is crazy. Oh man, this is Titanic. This is the PVR from Titanic when they did the motion control passes. I thought it was going to be from Apollo 13, but it's from Titanic. Okay, this is very, very, even way cooler than I thought it was.
Apollo 13 is good, but
Apollo
Titanic?
13, we can't show this to anyone.
Wow, Titanic, the movie that quite rightly for a long time was the #1 film in history. In a moment we'll get that footage moving. And on the note of showing this footage to you guys, I've sought comprehensive legal advice, and there's 2 reasons why we can. Firstly, as discussed, because this machine's ownership was relinquished by the previous owners, I am now legally its new owner, so that property has transferred. And secondly, the fair use laws of the US say that for historical or educational purposes, it's okay to show short clips. And, well, if a 30-year-old Amiga used to make the biggest film of all time isn't historical or educational, I don't know what is.
And that was motion control.
What we're getting is, so those are models, and they were underwater motion control models. What was connected to the camera that was recording film was also recording onto this machine.
So this machine, I can't believe that. That was on the set of Titanic, Apollo 13,
Apollo 13.
maybe The Abyss.
Well, the thing is, you could see it. Oh, that's the model.
That's the Titanic.
Yeah. That is the model of the Titanic.
This was worth the wait. Worth
Let's
its weight in old.
I know, tell me about it. But this looks like... That's something else.
Looks like a space. No, that's a submarine rover.
That's a submarine.
Yeah.
That's a submarine.
This
It's
is
the
all
front of the
Titanic.
submarine. Yeah, it's all Titanic.
We have nothing from Apollo 13.
No.
Shame on you.
Yes, I'm so sorry.
Only a more popular movie.
But look at that. We took the cards out, we put it in another machine, we booted it up, and it works.
Can't do that with a laptop.
Can't. That's the top of the Titanic.
The top of the Titanic.
Yeah, you know. Look at that. There's the front of the Titanic.
Wow, that's a very distinctive
Iconic.
shot. Now, how did they get the Amiga 4000 underwater?
Uh-oh. Well, it's waterproof, as you know.
Oh, yeah.
All right, this is a swing around. This is one of the swing arounds. Like, so this is one that would start far back. Remember the shot that went from them on the bow of the bridge of the front of the thing, and then it comes around, it sweeps around, it goes to the old underneath thing.
I've never seen it.
What?
What happens at the end?
I can't tell you. I don't want to spoil it for you. But
I've heard stories. The fact that we have the #1 movie of all time. Thank you, Amiga.
yeah, I know. This is bananas. That's the submarine again.
Oh yeah, that's the
2
model.
of them.
Model of the submarines.
Yeah.
Well, as if this wasn't incredible enough, I mentioned getting those images moving. So after a bit of trouble sorting out NTSC versus PAL issues, we were able to hook up this monitor to the S-video output of the PAL card. And let's see if we can actually play back the full motion video.
And there we have it.
Wow.
Shall I play something?
Can it? Will it play back?
Yes, it will.
Oh my god. The Titanic.
Titanic. Look at that. Now this is a video tap from the camera, so it's crappy.
Wow.
But
Well,
yeah.
I mean, that's not crappy by any means.
It's amazing.
Wow.
And then this is the thing descending.
So
It's the submarine
we're
descending.
looking up at the submarine.
Yeah, and it's coming down as we pass the Titanic.
Oh, you can
Holy
see the little arm holding
moly!
it.
Yeah.
And this footage is probably never
Oh
been
look,
seen.
and it's going to pan down with it. No, this has never been seen anywhere. This is bananas, dude.
That is amazing.
It looks like a drone, like a DJI drone. That is nuts. Oh wait, look, all the way past.
And you can scrape
You can
through
scrub.
this.
So what's mat A?
Scrub.
That's a mat.
Wow.
Right, and then there's a mat, another mat pass, a bit shorter. I guess this was just another test. Some of these are, obviously
Yeah.
they're trying things out. Like, I don't know what this was for. Oh, they're doing timing tests
Okay.
to see if the fields are getting picked up or progressive. MS59. Oh, here we go.
That's it on the seafloor.
Yeah,
Chris, we have found the Titanic after
that's right.
30 years almost. Lying
Buried.
Buried in your shed.
Buried in my shed.
Wow.
Not my shed. What are you talking about?
A shed.
A shed.
So this was a scene where it went in and then became
Yeah, and
the
from the looks
original.
of things, so these are models.
Yeah.
So the thing is, if they're filming with film, it would be a goddamn nightmare to do all this stuff. So with this, they're able to try things out.
Yeah.
Holy sh**. Pretty good.
Movie history right on these hard disks.
That's right.
Wow.
And guess what? They will not live anywhere else. This is it.
And guess what? They're backed up.
That's right. More. Oh, look at this. Holy sh**. That's the part taken from the film by the looks of things.
So they would use this to cut into the right moment.
Yeah. Because obviously they filmed certain parts of it already.
Yeah, yeah.
And then there's this one here. Again.
That's a rough shot again.
Looks like it. And then this one here. Oh. Oh, wow.
That's the big sub. The mothership.
So this is again used so that they've got some principal photography, and then they're going to be cutting in and out with models. But they're filming at the Titanic.
Yeah, that's the Titanic.
So the Titanic stars in Titanic. Yeah, that's Titanic right there.
And this had just been shot, hadn't it? They'd just been down there that year.
Yeah. And that's basically it.
Yeah.
That's all that's there.
Thanks a titanic amount to Chris there for guiding us through that. But that's not quite it for you guys. Firstly, after we filmed this, we discovered one more power drive, which we think might hold those Apollo 13 or Abyss videos. But as I no longer have that second A4000 and have run out of time here, I'm not able to try it out. But maybe you can. You see, firstly, I mentioned my backups, and as with the Team 17 stuff, I'm making them freely available on the Internet Archive for you to download under a non-commercial Creative Commons license right now, including that newly discovered drive. Bear in mind though, you'll need an A4000 with a PAR card to view the videos. They won't play without it, even on an emulator. And Chris has since told me that many of the original Titanic data tapes were corrupted by the building's power supply, which they were stored right next to. So this might be the only data left. But as for the real movie history hard drives themselves, put those on Fleabay? No, seriously, they're in an auction right now, along with the rest of this historic machine, all waiting to go to a loving new home with a serious movie memorabilia or Amiga collector. See the link in the description. And I'll keep trying to repair it in the meantime. Or, Mr. Cameron, if you're watching this, just drop me a personal email and I'd be honoured to transfer ownership to you. Absolutely no charge, just put me in your next movie. In all seriousness though, if we've learned one thing on this little adventure together, it's that sometimes, if you aim for the stars, though you may not quite get where you intended, you might uncover a buried treasure beyond your wildest dreams. From the depths of space to the depths of the ocean, that's it from me. Thanks for watching. Comment below. I'll never let go. But cheerio.
So I was going to tell you what I found today. I found the Titanic.
They've already found the Titanic.
No, on the computer.
They already have it on the computer. It's streaming. I'm sure you can find it.
No. I found original footage from the movie on a Commodore Amiga.
Did you find the heart of the ocean?
No.
Then why are we having this conversation?
Oh look, Dunkin' Donuts. We can get a Leonardo DiCappuccino.